The market basically hits the target we called out 9 months ago. Now where do we go from here? This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so on Friday, the market hit 42.97, and if you've been watching this channel for any amount of time, you know that since last October, I've been calling for about 4,300 from those lows, and here we are. I will put a link to that video here right above me, and on the screen, you'll see a screenshot of the video where you can see my ABC on the chart at that time, and the market has filled out well. You'll see when we get into the analysis portion of this video that the market followed this path to a T, and here we are at 4,300. The question is, where do we go from here? I'll get into that in just 1 second. But first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP 500 and the NASDAQ. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, one serious note before we jump into the analysis. We did lose some good people, and I want to pay a tribute to them real quickly. So here is my in memoriam tribute to them. In the arms of the angel, fly away from here. In that cold, dark hotel room and the endlessness that you fear, you were pulled from the wreckage of your silent reverie. You're in the arms of the angel. May you find some comfort here. You're in the arms of the angel. May you find some comfort here. All right, guys, seriously, that's all in good fun. I have fun with the trolls and the haters, but if you do come at me disrespectfully, I might have to swing back sometimes. Now let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, guys, so we're going to start on the daily chart today, and as you can see, I took all of my counts and fibs off of here basically, so you can see the move up pretty cleanly. Off of that low back around October 12th, we called for 4,300 in an ABC fashion, and that looks like what's played out up to this point. And so as we continue to move higher, the question is, how high do we go, and then where do we go after that? So I do think we have a little bit higher to go. We'll drill down into the counts, and I'll show you why I think we have a little bit higher to go. I don't think we've topped just yet. But once we do top, then we should see a pretty strong pullback, whether you're bullish or you are bearish. In my particular case, based on a lot of things, I am bearish. And what we should see from up around the 43.50 area, possibly a little lower, higher, right in that region though, we should start to see a pretty major pullback. And how that pullback takes shape will be how the market moves forward. It'll be very telling as to what we should see. If we start to see a pullback that takes on a 5-wave shape, okay, into this 3,800 region, which should be pretty strong support. You can see I've had this blue box on here for a while because it is the back test zone where we would expect the market to come back and test. If it takes on a clearly impulsive structure to the downside, then I would expect an ABC up and then a continuation to the downside toward the 2,500 to 3,000 region on the S&P futures. So as you can see, if we move down here, once we get down into that level, I have this C wave that I've had on there since last October to complete a bigger wave A. So the next move down that breaks support, which will be about 4,100 overall, next move down that breaks support, its shape will be very important. Because if it comes down in an ABC format, okay, where you get an A, B, C down into this support zone, then what it looks a lot more like is we have a leading diagonal for wave 1 up. You have a strong retrace, and this retrace should be strong in either case because leading diagonals, once complete, should sell off pretty strongly. But then we should be starting a wave 3 that would take us to all-time highs. So the next pullback will be very informative as to how the market will move forward. Can they go directly higher? Of course they can. The market's allowed to do what it wants. There's a lot of reasons I don't think it will. There's a lot of negative divergences on big MACDs. The weekly is too high. The hourly is too high. It's all pegged. And you're looking for a pullback when that happens, a major pullback. But things can happen. The market's allowed to do what it wants. If it breaks over 44.68, that's a pretty strong indication that we are already in wave 3. And this was a wave A was a 1, and this is a 2, and then a 1, 2, and then we're breaking out in 3 of 3 at this time. I don't think that's very likely. This A wave is very corrective in nature, and you would expect to see a very impulsive move here. So I don't think that's going to be the case at all. And I don't think they're going to be able to take it higher for a lot of different reasons. But 44.68 to the upside would be the level where you have to kind of flip your thinking and say we're headed more toward the 5,000 level to the upside. Okay, so let's drill down just a little bit here. Okay, and here we are on the 1 hour chart, and you see the move we had on Friday up toward the 4,300 here. I do expect them to push to at least 43.02. That would be the 1.0 to complete wave 3 or potentially a wave C type move. But I do think that would be the minimum target to the upside. More accurately, you'd like to see the 43.32. But overall, what you'd want to see is a 3.45 to the 43.50 range. And I do think that we should get one more pullback and push to get that, but we don't have to. The market doesn't, have to pull back and then push. It can take a more direct route, or we can move down. And the first indication of a problem would be a break of 41.75 here, this this wave 4 low. And then the second indication would be a break of 4,100 of the support down here around that area. And that would be a pretty strong indication that we're in the bigger pullback towards 3,800. So, as I said, I do expect them to complete higher up into the 43.02 again is the 1.0 minimum target, but as high as 43.60.70 on the ES. Over on the NASDAQ, okay, we are still looking for a little bit higher on the NASDAQ as well, but the NASDAQ has already reached its target, so it doesn't have to push as hard as ES does. So we could see the ES lead in these last couple days, but on the NASDAQ, you would still look for a 4.5 to complete up around 14,750 to 14,900 on the NASDAQ. We've had this B wave in place since last October as well. I actually had to move it up a little bit. It was down here around the 14,300 region, but we moved it up because the NASDAQ led this whole way and extended past its targets, which happens. But we would be looking at that kind of move on the NASDAQ and then a sell-off or a move down from there. And the move down on the NASDAQ would target about the 9,000 range or 8,000 range. If the C wave plays out that we're talking about, that we would see on the ES down to the 3,000 range, you'd look for the 8,000 to 9,000 range on the NASDAQ. It's a little bit higher than we originally prognosticated back in October, and the reason is they pushed a little bit higher here at the top of the target. So just have to adjust a little bit to the upside for the downside target because they extended this move just a little bit on the NASDAQ. So NASDAQ, we should be seeing a pullback and then move higher up into that 14,750 to 14,900 area. However, if they do break down below 14,250, that is your first warning that the bull move is over to the upside on the NASDAQ, and then a break down below this wave 2 here at 13,573 would be a very strong indication that we're in the move down. Guys, if you love the information I put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. There's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link. It will take you right over to the website. Once you're there, check out our membership plans area. We have 2 incredible plans, and they both come with a 7-day free trial. But if you don't want to become a monthly member, we do also have our Elliott Wave for Beginners course that you can buy on its own. And that course is 25 videos for new people learning Elliott Wave or who don't quite understand Elliott Wave. And it's every chart tool that I use, my complete chart setup, and then the Elliott Wave for Beginners course as well. It is an incredible video series that will help you understand how Elliott Wave truly works. As I said, we do have 2 incredible rooms, and they both come with a 7-day free trial because I want you to get in there. I want you to make sure you love it, and I want you to become part of our trading team before you ever spend a penny. You can cancel at any time. In our first room, the Invest with Jacob room, you get all of my real-time market updates, all of my buy and sell alerts, all of your Elliott Wave questions answered, a midday video where we go over exactly where we are in the counts and what to expect, as well as the training material you just saw. We trade the SPY and the QQQ and we swing trade, which means our trades can last anywhere from a few days to a few months, so we don't trade quite as often as a day trading room does. However, if you are looking for day trading as well as individual stocks, you need to check out PT's Throne Room. In there, you get everything you get in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as individual stocks, day trading, and PT's reduced risk binary method that absolutely crushes the market. He gets you in at a cheap price and gets you huge multiples on your money, and it's how he structures the trade that's so unique. It's something you kind of have to see to understand, and that's another reason we give you that 7-day free trial. He also started a challenge account where he put $4,000 into an account trading mini ES futures, averaging 3 to 4% gains per week, showing you how to build a small account into a large retirement or savings account. Guys, we would love to have you in these rooms so we can all make money together. All right, the key takeaways for today. Overall, in the big picture, we are looking for a pullback pretty soon. I explained why earlier in the video, but I do expect them to push over 4,300 to as high as 4,370 before we see that pullback. But again, a break of this wave 4 low here at 4177 or 4175, and then 4100 would be a strong indication that the move up has concluded. Over on the NASDAQ, again, we would look for a little 4-5 to the upside to complete around 14,750 to 14,900, but a breakdown below 14,250 would be your first indication of a pullback, and a break of the 13,567 area would be a strong indication. Guys, that is your market update for today. I will talk to you tomorrow.